back to Todd Family Farm. So today is Monday and we're gonna start the day off here with some chores. I don't know what all we have in store for today, but we are getting ready to head over to the barn for morning chores, and we're gonna be feeding some hay. So we just fed the big cows hay not too long ago, so we just have to do the weaned calves today because we didn't feed them. They didn't eat it yet when we fed the big cows hay, so gotta do that. We actually have like 3 inches of snow that's supposed to come in tonight or tomorrow, sometime in there, which is kind of disappointing because we have some things we were hoping to get done before it snowed, but just gotta take what we can get and make the best of it, I guess. So that's kind of the update where we're at right now, and you guys can come along and we will see what happens today. Okay, got the hay bale put in. Dad's gonna take the wrap off of it. So if you remember that cattle drinker that we installed in the last video, I think, it's doing really good. All the calves and cows are drinking out of it really good. So, and it hasn't frozen up yet, and it's been below freezing a lot. So I think it's gonna do good for us, hopefully. We haven't gotten below 0 yet, but it's doing good so far. What do you think of that? What is that? Hey, what is that? Hey here. Good morning, everybody. Got some hungry kittens waiting on me to feed them, but it snowed last night, and I think it's still coming down. It's supposed to snow a lot today, so not like a ton, but it's supposed to snow quite like for a while today. But it's always kind of fun. Every year you have new animals that have come on the farm, and it's their first time seeing snow, so it's always kind of fun to watch them discover snow. What do you think? I don't think you've been out there yet. That one's going back out. He's trying to attack it. The calves don't seem to mind it too much. Just to note, the horses here do have an option to go in a corn crib and have shelter, but they chose to stand out here in the snow, so as pitiful as they may look at times, it was their choice, so don't let them fool you. Good morning! Alrighty, let me do just a little bit of explaining here real quick. So we changed up the sheep and the horses, that changed up their locations, I guess, yesterday. The horses have been out on the pasture. They can get in the corn crib if they need to, and that's been fine. We've just been running, there's a hydrant out there that we run into a barrel, but it's leaky and it won't seal up, so in the winter it's going to freeze up and it's going to be bad, so we can't use that during the winter. So we have that sealed off for the winter, so it should be okay. We're going to have to get a new hydrant put in there sometime. What we did was we have this little automatic waterer out here in the sheep pen, but the horses can't be with the sheep because they will rough them up. So we turn the horses into the sheep lot. They can still get out to the corn crib to have shelter if they want it. And the sheep still have their barn in here, but there was this door on the east end of the sheep barn here that has just been boarded up. So we cut a little sheep door, and it looks like they've been ramming it a little bit, but we cut a little sheep door out here so that they can go outside, and this goes into the steers lot So then they can go out there. They have hay in a hay ring out there. They can eat with the steers, and they run with the steers. But since we put the new cattle waterer up there in the calves lot, the sheep can't get up there and push the big bowl down to get water, so they have to be watered in here. But I already watered them in here, so they have a hydrant back in there that I just fill a 5-gallon bucket up with, and it works good. So we just cut a little door in here. They have shelter. They come in here and drink water during the day. The calves are up there. They can get into the big barn. So that's our new setup. Hopefully it wasn't too long or confusing, but I tried to pin them in last night. I didn't do too much. I just put this in front of the door, but they busted it out, which I'm not too surprised at. I'll do something else today. The reason we pin them up at night is because coyotes are really bad around here, and they will target a sheep. So they turned themselves out, but then quickly discovered it is snowing, and they were not too happy about that, so they're all back inside now, just looking at me pitifully. You guys aren't getting any food. Go outside and eat. You're fine. Go outside. They drank almost all their water, so fill it up again. There we go. Alright, guys. You're in good shape. Come on, Kohlrabi. You're the star. You're the YouTube star. You have to come be on camera. Yes. Kohlrabi was not impressed with the looks of snow, but she's surviving. She's got enough fat on her to keep her in 30 below weather, so she's okay. And she's still building up more, so. Okay, we are back home from doing chores now, and it is coming down. Like, it is big snowflakes, and it's really coming down out here. So it's gonna keep snowing. I think we're gonna head in. We don't really have much to do out here, so I think that's gonna be it for this morning, and I don't know when we'll see you next, but see you next time we got something going on.
Today I am working on some chicken broth. So I can my own chicken broth, and what I do is whenever we have chicken throughout the year, I save the bones and I'll either cook those down in the crock pot, usually like 18 to 24 hours on low in the crock pot, or I use my pressure cooker. And so when those get nice and soft and I've got the liquid left over from them, I use that as my chicken broth, and then I mash up the bones and the dogs get those. So I have like a year's worth of chicken broth in the freezer that I've had in the freezer. So this morning I'm going to go ahead and get that canned. And what I do is just, I've got it in a big pot and I just heat it up real good, then get my jars ready, and it's ready to go. And it's really easy and really good. I mean, I prefer the homemade chicken broth way that I do it over store-bought. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm just filtering it through here a little bit as I put it in the jars, and then Adam found some 1.5-pint jars a while back, and I really like them. I haven't even used them yet at all, but I can tell by the size of them that they're just perfect, because a lot of times a pint isn't quite enough for things like chicken broth, but then a quart is almost too much. So I'll have leftovers stored in the fridge for a long time that I end up, I just forget about it. So 1.5 pints, I think I'm really gonna appreciate these. So I'm really liking these. So I've got my 1.5 pints filled up, and I only have 9 of those. I wish I had more, but I only have 9, so I'm gonna fill up the rest of the canner with regular pints, and that's it, and it'll be ready to go. And I'll actually start, the whole process will start back over after Thanksgiving, because I'll do the same thing that I do with chicken with the turkey, and I'll cook down those bones and have that broth, and I'll put it away in the freezer until I get a lot more stored up again, and come this time next year I'll do the same thing. I really like doing this project right before Thanksgiving because I use a lot of broth, when I'm making my Thanksgiving meal. So I like doing this right before Thanksgiving. That way I have it available, and we're at almost a week before Thanksgiving, and so we'll be good to go. And I really encourage, if you're going to invest and get serious about canning, I would encourage you to get one of these canners, and they have different sizes. This one holds 14 quarts, and of course, more pints than that. But you can get a single level one. This is a double level. You stack them up. But you can get just a single layer one. But these clamps are worth the investment on these, because when you get canners that have the seals, the rings, you have to replace those, and they're not foolproof. They'll wear out, and it can create a little bit of a hassle. Now, I do have one of those. I used it for years, but I'm really thankful for this, and upgrading to this was definitely worth it. So if you are serious about getting into canning, go ahead and get you one of these, and these things just last, you know, forever, because they have these clamps on them instead of the rubber seal that you have to change out every so often. So that's my canning tip of the day.
Got the 3 calves, the sheep out there, ventured out into the snow, eating hay. Got this little guy trying to stay off the cold ground. Chasing snow. Hey, buddy. Whoa. You're ruffling my camera, aren't you? You're stuck again. Come on. You know how to. No, that's the wrong one. Wrong one. This way. Back around. There you go. Come on now. Oh, listen to that purr. So these kittens up here at the barn, one of them, like every single morning almost, is stuck up in the hayloft. So we put a board up as a bridge on the haystack so it can get down, but it gets lost and doesn't remember which beam the board is on. So every morning I come in here, I gotta walk up there and help it get down. But part of our routine, I guess. Okay, they're fed. But you get their water. Hold on, do you see that? There we go. On to the sheep. Those great big calves are scared of the sheep. So the sheep come out and eat their hay. Don't worry about the calves, they get plenty of hay. The sheep get put up this afternoon and they get the hay a lot of the time. So, icicles.